Morning, welcome back to Derby Coin. It's weekend, so jobs to do. I got some cement, so unfortunately slabbing. Right, I've got to get on to some slabbing today. I want to get this finished because yeah, that needs to be done. It's been, how many weeks are we at now? I forgot, I lost count. So 1, 2, 3 weeks I think for the since I've done my bottom drying. Been 3 weeks since cleaning that out and testing the fog clay. So this weekend again I've got to purge the bottom drying again, see what's in there after the 3 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever it is now, and then moving on to the mediclay. So yeah, there's that. Filters all going to be cleaned again. Have a look what's been caught in my little sieve in the middle on there, and talk about that. Yeah, so a few other little bits and pieces need to get done, so let's get on to this slabbing. I hate slabbing. I don't know if I told you that. Right, let's get this slabbing done. Okay guys, all done, thank God. I don't know if I've said it before, but I hate slabbing. So that section's done. I've still got in there to do. I'm not showing you that, it's like a bomb site at the moment, so I've got to clear all that up. I've got about 10 slabs to get cut and get down there along the back, but they're easy cuts, all straight, nice and straight, and we're drying to do. And then I've got to go around the whole lot, which is all in there, all here, all at that path, and all over there. I've got to clear all the gaps out, and it's all going to be mortared up, and I've got to try and give them maybe give them a bit of a seal, which will hopefully send them a bit darker, because originally that's the colour we wanted. That's what it's days, but the slabs just seem to have gone lighter and lighter, so hopefully once they're in and cleaned and sealed, hopefully a little bit darker on them. We'll see how it goes. He's just been in the park. He come to inspect me work. Don't walk on me wet slabs. What do you say, boy? Job's a good one. Morning. It's Sunday, so got some food. Today's the day. I'm gonna clear out the bottom drying, see what's in it after the test with the fog clay. It's been what, 3? I can't remember how many weeks. I have to look at the thing. 3 or 4 weeks since I started the test. So I can see if there's any reduction in what's in the bottom drying, and have a look, and then we'll start the test on the mediclay. So give the little piggies some food. And straight up. So yeah, a little bit more. All looking good. Quick update on my Sankey. I said it was flashing. Been nothing else since. So no more flashing in there. Yeah, so it's been absolutely great. Somebody did mention, and I did notice it myself on the last video when I put my fog clay in. Not, a few minutes or even a minute after I put it in. Henry or Henrietta, my shag-eye, flashed. Yes, I did see that, but it hasn't flashed again. I don't think it was anything serious. I think it was just a slight irritation from the fog clay. As I said in the previous video, the fog is a lot grainier. It's not as fine a powder as the mediclay. So I just think, and it does, when you put it in the pond, it does sort of float in the water a little bit for a while before it actually sinks down, and I think you just get out a little bit of irritation in the gills from that, but never flashed again after that, so that's a good thing. So I just wanted to mention that. So yeah, all looking good. Water's lovely and clear still, really happy with that. So get on to this bottom drying. I'm not going to film it. You've obviously seen me do that before, but I'm going to have my white tub out, so see what it catches obviously, and I'll show you that one. See how much we get out the bottom drying. So let me get this cleared out, set up and cleared out, and I'll be back with you. Dirty. Starting to run a bit clearer. Let's turn it off. Look into that. Okay. Wow. Right, as you seen what came out, it was quite dirty again, which I was surprised, to be honest, after the time we've had. So let's see if we can get my seasoning at the bottom. Quite a bit, to be honest. See what's in there. There's lots of larvae, lots of empty cases, and obviously there's algae and stuff, natural stuff, and poo, everything else that gets stuck in there. But yeah, it's quite a lot of cases which the jet washer's got off. So has the flop worked, the fog? For the flies, no, not at the moment. It hasn't reduced them in any way that I can see, and from what I can see, it hasn't kept the pipes cleaned, it hasn't cleared the pipes. Whether at the start of next year I'm going to continue to use it, and as I said, after this I'm going to do the mediclay test again. Whether start of next season, when I do 1 week of one, 1 week of the other, whether that will help keep it clean, because if they're completely gone over winter and continue to use it, hopefully, I don't know, it's something to try next year. But at the moment, it hasn't done a lot for the pipe work, as you can see what's in it. And with the flies, you've seen over the last couple of weeks, it hasn't really reduced those. So yeah, that's the part of the test done. So now I need to compare it with the mediclay. So I'm going to get all my filters cleared out, get my mediclay in and everything else I need to do, and we'll get 3 weeks of that. We'll get on with that. Okay, I just wanted to show you this, how much crap's actually in the bottom. I'm never at, I mean, it is full of casts, but one thing I wanted to show you was this. It's all full of this stuff. And it feels very sandy, very grimy. I've never had that before. Whether that's the fuck that sinks to the bottom and gets in the pipe work, I don't know. It does feel very grainy, like the felt clay, because that is very grainy on it. But it's full of that stuff, very grainy. Like I say, whether it's that, and as I'm only on a pump fed system, and I'm only pumping or pulling about 6,500 litres an hour through, whether it's that, if I was a gravity fed and I was pulling like you know, the 10,000 litres or whatever, it probably wouldn't get in there, settle in there, and it, you know, it would act like a sandblaster maybe as it's pulling it through. But because I haven't got the flow rate, I don't know if that's why. But there's so much of that stuff in there that's so grainy. It does feel like somebody's chucked a bucket of sand in there. But again, that could be the fuck. But as you can see, there's so much stuff in there. It is teeming with larvae cases in there. But I just wanted to show you that, and it surprised me. But we'll get on to the mediclay test now. Okay, just cleaning my filters out, and a comment I received on I think it was my last video about the flies. It says when somebody's got an eazypod, obviously you've seen me clean all this out and the stuff I have at the problems at the bottom, but I think I've cured that with the brush. But one thing I never thought about or anything was this centerpiece, the center tube, between this piece, the tube itself, and this wire mesh here, there's a space at the bottom, and somebody said they noticed a load of crud at the bottom, and they had to strip the whole thing and take all this off, and the media out and the cage out and everything else. And he said it was really thick on here, so I've just had a look down there. Whether you can see if the camera picks it up or not, I don't know. There is a bit of stuff at the bottom. Not a lot at all, but there's a little build up on down there, so that's obviously not the best bacteria to have. I don't see anything down. I don't actually know what the camera's picking up, but I'm trying to get a light down there. There is a bit at the bottom, so that's obviously an issue I want to get sorted. I don't want to strip the whole thing down at the moment because I want to continue my my test, and I'll probably do it after the test. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and get a stick down there just to loosen it up for now. Try and loosen it if it's stuck to the sides, and I'm going to chuck a lot of pond water down there to loosen it. Then I'm going to flush it through and boil the pod again, and I'll have another look to see what's down there. So see if we can get rid of some of it for now. And if I have to at some point strip the whole thing down and jet wash it out, I will. But for now, see if we can get rid of some of that. That's what I'm doing. So if you have got an eazypod, it's worth checking on that. So I can't remember your name, but thank you for that. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I can't see any flies in there or larvae or anything like that, so that I don't think there's any issue with those being in there. They're actually in the pipe work, I believe, is the main issue. But I can't see anything down here larvae wise, so let's get this cleared. Okay, what I've done is I've got this little stick, only a little thin stick, and it fitted down here between the pipe and the cage. I dislodged as much of it as I could, loosened it all up. I got a bucket of pond water and threw a full bucket as fast as I could down there to help wash it again, and then spilled it round with a little stick. I've filled it back up and boiled it again, and while it's been boiling I've been agitating it again. Now I've already given this a double boil and the water was absolutely spotlessly clean, so just by doing that, you can see the colour of the lights in there, you can see the colour of the water again, so it puts a lot more. So I think part of my cleaning regime I must keep my eye on that. So I'm just boiling it out. I'm going to flush it out again. I'm going to give it another poke with the stick first. I'm going to flush it out and I'll have a look down to see what's down there again. So let's get it empty. Okay, let's have a look down here. Now, actually, I don't know if you can see down there now. Whether you can see or not, it's not 100%, but it's a damn sight cleaner than it was just by doing that stick. A little bit more down this side, because if you can see the tube isn't quite centralised, it's more that side than that. So it's a little thinner that side. There's a tiny bit more there, but that side's virtually, I'd say 95-98% maybe, I don't know. Yeah, so hell of a lot better than it was. Some I made to look at another way of cleaning it. I'll get onto that. I'll have a think without stripping the whole thing down, which I don't really want to do. But yeah, so far that's a lot better. And again, sorry I can't remember your name at the moment, but whoever mentioned that to me in the comments, he sent me a message about that. I really do appreciate it. Thanks for that. And as I said, if you've got an eazypod, it's definitely worth having a look down there when it's empty. Get a torch in there and have a look what's down there and get it cleaned out, because you don't want that nasty stuff in your pond staying in there. So yeah, thanks again for that. Another job sorted for now, but I'll look into somewhere getting that completely cleaned. And so far, job's a good one. Okay, one other thing, I'll keep you an update on my sieve, my bare sieve. As you can see, there's a lot in there that's around the sides and in the bottom. It's actually a big clump in there because I've been moving it around. It has caught a fair bit in there, so yeah, rather than that going back to the pond. I know people have suggested and people have tried it where, as I said, it's not. Look in here again, the size of that, it doesn't quite fit the pond, the pipe. And a lot of people have said they've put a pot round the top, so because holes would just fit in, or a funnel and stuff like that, so that actually when they put it in here, it fits just on the lip of this, so everything's going through the sieve itself. I did think about that, but my only concern is it going to block? I know people have done it and they said they have to clean it daily, but my concern is if I do forget for whatever reason, or you know, I just completely forget about it, one of them moments, I'm really concerned about it overflowing. Yes, I have got my float switch on the pond obviously, so if it does overflow and I start to lose water, it's going to turn off that way, but I'd rather not that happen. I may give it a trial. I may find something that will fit just on that in there, if you can see that gap, and have it so it's flush like that. I don't know yet. I may try it and keep me on it constantly. But yeah, it ain't too bad. It's got a fair bit out, so I'm happy with that little bit at the moment, so I can go back in for now. I'm leaving that in for now because obviously I've filled up. It is going to let, whenever you do an eazypod, you don't get everything out, and when you fill it back with water, a lot of stuff can still go back down, so that will catch a bit more, stop it going back into the pond. So yeah, let's get this up and running, and onto my upflow filter. Okay, all filters are cleaned. I'm leaving it running for a little bit, but as you can see I've lost a couple of inches of water at least at the moment, so I've upped my trickle-in system, and let it top up a little bit. Once it's topped up a little bit more, I'll get the mediclay in and we'll start all over again. So I'm back with you later when I'm getting the mediclay in. Okay, still topping up from, got my mediclay ready to go, all mixed up, my bypass is on. Before I put this in, I just want to mention that I have noticed, if you can actually see, if I get down here, little bits just starting to appear, little bits of string algae starting to appear, and little bits here and there, and so like a little build up of green on the side. Now I know that's nothing to do with the clays, the fock or anything like that. It's not going to make any difference to that. I think whether they put it in or not. It's just the nature of having a pond that you're going to get it at some point. So I'm going to monitor it. If it starts to get any worse, I am going to put some treatment in if I need to, but it's not that bad at the moment. I'm just going to monitor it. Also, one thing I have noticed as well, there's a very slight tinge to the water, just slightly tainted, not a lot, but I think a lot of that is down to the food I'm using as well. I am feeding the high protein stuff still. I have been banging it in this year, weather permitting. On the cooler days I haven't put as much in, obviously, but on the warm days I have been chucking it in, make sure they're eating it. So it's a lot to do with that, and also I've got them things, got lilies, and as you can see, as they start to die off a little bit, they break off. So it's a build-up of organic matter as well in the pond. That's what causes the tannins in the water. So again, that's nothing to do with the test I'm doing on the clay. I'd have had that either way. But I am going to continue with the test on the mediclay. Hopefully this string algae doesn't get too bad where I have to stop the test, but I am going to monitor it. And I also, with the tannins, I have actually bought some activated carbon, which I will use, but I'm going to hopefully get through this test first. I'll get this another 3 weeks out of the way, and then I can put some activated carbon in. Hopefully that will reduce the tannins and get rid of that as well. So alright, let's get this mediclay in. Okay, the bypass is on, so it is going to work around the pond. Nice and clean, look. If you can actually see the colour of that, I know I messed it up earlier with cleaning the filters and stuff, but that it's normally white. There's a slight tinge to it when you put the mediclay in. So yeah, I'll let this run through. This how the bypass is on now. I'll put that on for about 5 or 6 hours. What time is it? It's 4:30, just gone. So about 9:30, 10 o'clock tonight I'll come and turn the bypass off, so it's running through the upflow filter, which is the same as I did with the fox clay. So yeah, leave that for now and we'll see how we get on. Hi guys, it's Tuesday, not long gone in from work. As you've seen, I started my mediclay test now. I've finished with the fox. I want to leave it a couple of days before I actually give my initial thoughts on the fox and how it's worked in my setup. So I want to take a couple of days just so I can actually think about it and what I actually thought, and that's what you may see me revert to this. I've got a few bullet points. So fox, how's it done? We'll start off with the flies. Has it helped? Has it got rid of them in any way? No. To be quite honest, they were just as bad from day one to the end of the test. There was a couple of days maybe in the middle that it may have gone down a little bit, but I'm putting that down to the gestation period of the flies. But at the end, I was getting just as many. So it hasn't or didn't help reduce with the flies. I know it wasn't. It was only a short test. Over the I think about 3 weeks, 4 weeks, something like that. I think it was 4 weeks of using it, but only 3 weeks of the actual test from when I cleaned the bottom drain to clean it again this week. So yeah, flies, no, hasn't really helped. Pipe work, did it help me keep the pipe work any clearer? Again, I've got to say no. And unfortunately, to be honest, as you can see from the video, I think it was actually worse. My thoughts on that is, as I said when I initially put the mediclay, so the fox in the pond, it's not quite as fine as the mediclay. and you can actually see it where mediclay sends the whole pond really milky. It didn't send it as milky, and you can actually see it suspended in the water, and it does drop to the bottom of the pond a lot quicker now. So it does sink a lot quicker. So my thoughts on that is the reason why it didn't work as much. Obviously, I said it's grainy, so it sinks quicker, and I'm thinking because my system is a pump fed system and I'm only drawing a maximum of 6,500 litres an hour, and with the head pressure and everything else through the filters and through the pump, that might be a little bit less. So as I said, because it's heavier and it settles in the pipe, I don't think my system is strong enough to pull all of that through enough. It's obviously pulling some of it through, but I don't think it's pulling it all through. And I think you seen from the video, there's that sandy texture, whatever that was. I've never had that in my pipes before. All I can put that down to is something to do with the fog clay. It's focculating, so that's why it's become a little more grainier, and it's sinking to the bottom. And my system, I don't think it's strong enough, like a gravity fed system would do. I don't think it's drawing it through the system quick enough to actually pull it all out. And because I've got all the fly larvae in the pipe work, it's settling against those that were in there, and there's not enough pressure to actually pull it through. All I can put it down to is that a stronger draw on the system would act, because it's grainy, it would act possibly like, all I can put it down to would be possibly like a sandblaster, something like that. So it's drawing it through the system and helping dislodge anything in the pipes. But because I haven't got that draw on there, I don't think it's actually doing as much as it would do on a gravity fed system, pulling through it, 10,000, 12,000, 15,000 litres an hour, something like that. That's my honest opinion on what I think it possibly could be. My system isn't set up for the FOC to do what it really could do. Okay, moving on to water clarity. Is the FOC clay any better than the mediclay? The first day of pouring it in, when I put it on Sunday, on the Monday, I've got to say the water is absolutely sparkling, possibly more than the mediclay on the initial day, but then the following days after that, I don't think it stays as clear as the mediclay does. Again, I'm putting that down to my system, because the FOC is getting stuck in the bottom drain and not getting pulled through, because it's heavier, not getting pulled through the system and breaking it down again and going back through again. I think a lot of it is stuck in the pipe, so it might not be doing as much as it could do. If the flies weren't in the pipe work initially, I may not have had a problem. It may have drawn it through great and getting that clarity. But as I said, when I put my mediclay in, yes, the next day it sparkles. Difficult to say. Does it sparkle as much as the FOC? Maybe not. But for the, it's when I went in Sunday, so it's been Monday and Tuesday now with the mediclay. I honestly think in my system it's actually a bit clearer still than it was with the FOC. So it's not staying as clear for longer with the FOC in my system. With the FOC system, the FOC, when I put it in the first day I put it in, my filter floss and my bag on my Backy River, yes, there was a little bit more than normal in there, but then the next day, not hardly anything, to be honest. I'm putting a lot of it down now because I've got my upflow filter as well. That's taking a lot of the fines out as well. But on Sunday, when I put my mediclay in, on the Monday my filter floss was really bad. It brought a lot of muck out of the pond, really had. Then on the Tuesday today, it's back to normal, hardly anything in there, and as I said, the water in the pond is really staying clear. So yeah, that's where we are so far. Let's have a quick look at this. So again, fuck, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. It's just, unfortunately, I don't think it suits my setup. For me, mediclay is doing a better job at keeping the pond clearer and reducing the fines and getting those out of the pond. I thought I did have high hopes for the fuck, for the clarity wise. Mineral wise, I can't say, to be honest. I don't know what minerals are being put in and which one's better. I've got to say one thing though, when I do put the fuck in the pond, I did put the fuck in the pond, the appetite on the fish went through the roof. They were ravenous. As soon as I went by anybody went by the pond, they wanted up for food. With the mediclay, not as much. So, you know, appetite wise, it really helped them. As for colours on them, it was such a short test, I don't think I noticed any difference, to be honest, in the colour. And it didn't enhance any colours or anything like that, but it certainly enhanced their appetite. Yes, so now I'm on to the test of the mediclay. Yes, I have used it before, but being the test, yes, it's the flies. Mediclay is going to do nothing for that. I used it before and had the flies, so I know that's not going to help with those. So really, the mediclay, all I can test it against now is water quality and clarity in the pond, and I will be interested in the 3 weeks time to see what is actually in the bottom drain. Do I get that graininess again? Is it something else that's causing the graininess in there? And it wasn't the fuck, so I'll be very interested in that one when I clean out the bottom drain in 3 weeks. You know, I'm not in any way knocking fuck. It, as I said, you know, it's as in clarity wise, initial day, great, fantastic. Appetite, amazing, really gets the appetite. But for me, it hasn't suited my system, my setup. You all know I love mediclay and what I think it does for my pond, water clarity wise. But I will be interested now to see in 3 weeks what's in that pipe. So yeah, that's it. That's my initial thoughts on it. Obviously, in another 3 weeks time, when I do it out, I'll give my thoughts on the comparison between the two. Yeah, and don't forget to pop on over to Facebook. I did that little competition on there. Great response for the little competition. Thanks to everybody who had a go. So don't know who the winner is yet. It is only Tuesday and this video is going out on Friday. So pop on over to Facebook, see who the winner is, see if you've won. Another thing, the Kent show, the koi show in Kent, unfortunately I can't make it due to other commitments and work and everything else. So unfortunately I won't be at that show this time. But if you are going, I hope you have an absolutely fantastic time. Looking forward to seeing the videos on that. I'm sure there's going to be a few of them out there. But I will be going to the show in October, the West Midlands show. I think it's the 3rd and 4th, 2nd and 3rd, somewhere around there. I can't remember, to be honest. I can't remember the date, but I will be going to that show. So hopefully I can see you there. So don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Hit that little bell to get your notifications. And until the next one, stay safe. Job's a good one.